असंख कूड़ियार कूड़े फिराए. The word kood, in Punjabi we use the word kood to mean the rubbish in our bin. Kood. It literally means rubbish, filth. Countless are these filthy who are swimming in filth. Here we can take this in two ways. Kood is normally translated as corruption, like it's only talking to the corrupt people. But in Asadiwar, Guruji gives a different definition of kood. He says everything is filth. Your clothes are filth. Your jewelry is filth. Kood soina, kood rupa. Filth is your position, your power in society, your status in the world. Kood miya, kood bibi, kap hoye khwar. The husband is rubbish, the wife is rubbish, and in their arguments they're just wasting time. They're just losing their essence in their cup, in that constant noise, that argument. Cup hoye khwar. They're losing something just in arguing all the time with each other. Guruji is very practical. This is what real life is like. Guruji knows what married life is like. Imagine Guru Nanak Dev Ji writing, my children are rubbish, my wife is rubbish, my parents are rubbish. But they understood. The people around Guru Nanak Dev Ji understood. They knew what he was trying to say. In Asidiwar, it goes on to say, after all of this rubbish, it says, Kis naal kiche dosti, sab jag chalanhar. Who shall I befriend when the whole world is going to go? Is temporary. This is why they are kood. Asank koodiyar. We are those kood. We ourselves are those koodiyar. This is not just talking about the evil people anymore. Nothing lasts forever. That's what we mean by this. All of Maya, all of materialism, all of creation is ultimately temporary. It doesn't last forever, but we treat it like it does. We treat every possession that we earn, every possession that we own, as though it is something that gives us life, like it's more important than life itself. Guruji says, take a step back, recognize. Asank Guriyar, we are that Guriyar. We are the lost ones, the ones who don't see the reality of the world. Kure ferai, we're just roaming in filth. Asank malesh mal pak khai. Malesh is a word used to describe people who are unjust, people who are unfair, uncontrollable. Countless are these unfair, unjust, irrational people. Mal pak khai. Mal here means mal, rubbish. Pak khai. Both words pak and khai mean to eat and eat. Countless are these unfair, unjust, irrational people who are just consuming filth, eating rubbish. So pak khai means eat, eat. We've seen another example of this so far. Earlier in Japji Sahib, we've seen denda de lende thak paye juga jigantar kahe, eat and eat, consume and consume. So this is poetic language being used here, to eat and eat. Yeah, we continue to consume, eat and eat. Asank malesh mal pak khai. Countless are these unjust who are just continuously eating filth. Asank nindak sir karhe paar. Nindak, ninda. Slanderers the ones who like to insult others, the ones who like to gossip about others all the time. What are they doing? They are slandering, but at the same time they are loading themselves with par, with weight, with burden. Sir kahe par, sir means the head. On their head they're burdening themselves with a greater load. Countless are the slanderers carrying burden on their head. Why do slanderers carry burden on their head? When you're insulting someone, when you hate someone, even if they're not in the room, you're thinking about them. What are you doing? You're doing their simran. You're meditating on them. And when you realize that you're meditating on the one that you hate, then you might actually consider not doing that. You spend all of your time on that which you claim to hate. And even worse, because a lot of the time we hate people who haven't done anything to us. A lot of the time we put people down, we slander, we insult people who haven't even done anything, but we just don't like them. They're just a little bit strange, a bit weird. They don't agree with us. We don't see eye to eye with them. They haven't done anything, but every time we talk to someone else about it, oh no, I don't like that person. Oh, that person's a bit strange. Every time you do that, the words that you're saying is that there's something wrong with them. But the words that you're not saying are more important. When you say there's something wrong with them, what you're really saying is, I'm not like that. There's nothing wrong with me. At least I'm not like that. This is why Gurbani spends so much time warning us against insulting others. Do not engage in nindya. Stay away from slander. Not because you're going to affect somebody else by slandering them. Not because by gossiping behind their back, somehow they're going to lose out. Because every time you gossip and every time you insult someone else, you build your ego. You say, I'm not like that. I'm better than that person. Then Guru Nanak Dev Ji starts to summarize. And he summarizes in the most beautiful way he can. He says, Nanak Neech kahe veechaar. Nanak Neech. This is one of the lines that you will see in your translations that more often than not is mistranslated. Most of the time, the translations will say Nanak is doing vichar, is doing discourse of the low people, of the Neech. Nanak Neech kahe veechaar. Nanak is doing vichar of those people. Nanak has now described the low people. This is how it is commonly misinterpreted. And how do we know it's misinterpreted? By the spelling. And the reason the people misinterpret this is out of their respect for Guru Nanak. They have so much respect for Guru Nanak that they cannot fathom the idea that Guru Nanak can call himself low. Because we place Guru Nanak so high, we cannot understand and we cannot see Guru Nanak Dev Ji as low. But regardless of your reverence for Nanak, you cannot break the rules that Guru Nanak Dev Ji himself has put within the body. The rules of grammar. Nanak with an onkar is where Guru Nanak Dev Ji is referring to himself. So the spelling doesn't mean Nanak says. This says Nanak Neech. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji is talking about himself. Secondly, Neech has an onkar. If Nanak was talking about all of these countless low people, Neech would have to be plural. So the Neech would have to be mukta. There would be no onkar underneath it. But Neech has a singular. So by looking at the grammar, we can only translate this in one way. Nanak the low says this vichar. Now most people can't believe this. They can't bring themselves to call Nanak the low. But Guru Nanak can call himself low. He has that humility. He's lost his ego. He doesn't have an ego. Nanak Neech, kahe, veechaar. Nanak is saying, I am the lowest of all. So when Guru Nanak Dev Ji is talking about asank, he recognizes that I'm no one to say that I'm great. Because if I say, look at him, he's a murderer. Look at him, he's a thief. Look at that person. Look at that exploiter. Look at that gossip queen. Look at all these people. What am I doing? I'm increasing my ego. I'm not a murderer. I'm not like that. I'm not a rapist. I'm not a dictator. I'm putting myself higher than everyone. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji, even when we're reading this Shabad, we must never think of these people as lower than us. That's why Guru Nanak has used that Shabad at the end. Nanak Neech kahe, veechaar. I'm lower than everyone, and I say these words. Varya na java ekvar. Who am I to speak of you, of this universe? Even once, I cannot even begin to describe you. I cannot sacrifice myself to you. Once alone is not enough. So what is my path? I may not be following all these things, but I recognize how low I am. And in my lowly state, I understand I have no control over everything. All of these great people that I talked about in the last verse, I'm none of those. All of the evil people, I may not be one of those either, but I recognize that I'm low. I recognize that I'm low. And in this low state, what can I do? I can do nothing but just accept you the way you've created the whole universe. Jo tod pave sai palikar. Whatever you've created, whatever is pleasing to you, that feels great to me. Tu sada salamat nirankar. You are sada. You are the only one that is forever. You are salamat. You are steady. And you are formless. Behind all of creation, there is this one that I can't even see. So I'm lost in Maya. Tu sada salamat nirankar. I think this is a very important lesson for all of us. Every single word here has so much depth. We can go into the meaning of every single word and explore the meaning. Who is a papi? Who is a murak? Who is a nindak? Why do they put par on their head? So here we've just simply begun to introduce these concepts. And remember, Guruji is in his euphoria here. Guruji continues using infinity as his mantra. And that's a very valuable meditation, to just remember everything is part of that infinity. And when you remember the infinity, you don't remember the finite. You don't remember the limitations of yourself. You lose yourself in that infinity meditation. Asank, asank, asank. How many moments there are. How many days, how many nights, how many suns, how many moons, how many stars, how many blades of grass, how many leaves, how many birds, how many animals. In that infinity, Guru Nanak loses himself, which is why we said last week that there's a significant shift in the tone of how Guru Nanak Dev Ji now speaks. This is the example of how we use Gurbani. This is how Gurbani is now a meditation tool, not just a wisdom tool, not just knowledge. But the ultimate knowledge is that there is something permanent and that I am something temporary. And in my temporariness, I know my place. I know where I sit. I know where I am in this greatness. I am nothing. I'm insignificant. And I am the lowest of the low.